favorite herb.
Today on Refined, prepare to get a tongue lashing.
People lie, but tongues don't lie.
We'll show you what you can learn about your insides when you open up and say, Plus,
coming up on Seattle Refined, we're having a blast at the Flying Heritage and Combat Armor Museum. Don't touch that dial.
Oh man.
Then, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Thank you all for coming.
Aww.
I am excited for all of you to interact with me tonight.
We take you to the Seattle restaurant where the service is, well, a bit robotic.
Seattle Refined starts now.
Hi everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. Seattle is chock full of great places to eat, but to stand out from the crowd, sometimes it takes more than what's on the menu. Lots of successful restaurants have a gimmick to get you through the door.
For instance, McDonald's has its dollar menu and Happy Meals, Chuck E. Cheese has singing animatronic mice, and for one Seattle restaurant, the gimmick is named Sota. As soon as you walk into this new Capitol Hill hotspot, you immerse yourself into another culture.
Super authentic Japanese food, and I absolutely love it.
Junkichi isn't just a restaurant, it's an experience.
The full name of the restaurant is Junkichi Robata Izakaya. So Robata refers to the style of cooking, which is going to be an open charcoal grill. Izakaya is referring to a local hangout, what we can equate in America as a gastropub.
That's really good.
I like the tapas style too, where everything's kind of shared and you get a little bit of everything. This food's my favorite. It's just such a good flavor and a good texture.
The owners put a lot of thought into Junkichi, making sure every detail is authentic, including the head chef.
Yoshi's a great character. He comes from Japan. He's a sake specialist. He has opened upwards of 150 restaurants in Japan.
Thanks for coming.
But there's another character drawing people to Junkichi.
Oh man, I wish I had one of those drinks.
This is Sota.
What's this, guys?
It's part novelty, part crazy technology, part something new that we want to bring to the market and really bring a different vibe to the restaurant.
Thank you all for coming.
Aww.
I am excited for all of you to interact with me tonight.
Too many times with the smartphones that we have nowadays, everybody's glued to them at the table when they're not eating or in conversation. So this is something that really gets you engaging back with the rest of your group.
3, 2, 1, Kanpai.
Sota also has the ability for free text speech to where you can type in anything you want to communicate to the service staff if you've had a great time, if you would like to order another glass of wine, if you would like to compliment the server.
You're funny.
Yes, we
I love you.
Constant validation.
It does have facial recognition mode, so it will scan your face as you log in and remember you as you come back and link to Sota again.
Hey, Elizabeth and Reagan.
Hey.
We will be best friends in no time.
She's adorable and cute and a lot of fun to play with.
My recommendation from the sushi is the Batira.
I love the robot. I just want to keep talking to him and keep making him say things. It's cool. I definitely want to build up my profile, so when she can recognize my face, we can get drinks and food ordered, and I think it's a really cool experience.
But Sota comes with a dilemma, to tip or not to tip.
You don't have to tip Sota, but a nice compliment would work every now and then.
Thanks for coming, and go Seahawks.
To learn more about Junkichi, log on to our website. Beer and wine are just part of the foodie fun at Seattle Center this weekend. The annual Bite of Seattle kicks off Friday and runs through the weekend, and this year promises to be as tasty as ever. The event features 60 restaurants, craft beer and cider tasting, live music, a free bite movie night, celebrity chefs, cook-offs, and more. Best of all, admission is free.
It's been said the eyes are the window to the soul, and if you ask anyone well-versed in Chinese medicine, they'll tell you the tongue is the roadmap to everything else. Refine's Malia Karlinski opened up and said, to see if it's all true.
At Hensen Herbs in Renton, jars of exotic ingredients from the Far East fill the shelves.
This is myrrh.
Myrrh, okay.
Yes, and this is dragon's blood.
Dragon's blood. It's the greatest name ever.
This is my favorite herb.
Juliana Isokai is a traditional Chinese herbalist. She's practicing in modern times, but you could say her approach to healthcare is old school, like Ming Dynasty old school.
What is traditional Chinese medicine?
It is a very ancient way of healing, using mostly through experience and using Chinese herbs. Herbs is roots, leaves, twigs, minerals. Traditional Chinese medicine has always been used for thousands and thousands of years. Our practice has been here since the 1950s.
Julie's teacher was also her dad.
I learned it through my father. He was the first herbalist of Chinatown in Seattle, and his name is Hensen Chen.
Even as a little girl, she was always at his shop.
So me and my sister. So we started at a very young age, and back when we were 5 years old, we would run around. But by the time we were getting older, we were there helping out.
Julie's dad passed his passion for helping others along to her. He's gone now, but she's carrying on his tradition.
So how is it different from what we might think of as traditional Western medicine?
Oh, completely different. We try to treat the cause versus the symptoms.
She says many times herbs can be the key.
And I have to ask you about this. This is so interesting. What's happening over here?
So this is actually our formula. There's at least 30, 40 different herbs in each formulation. Herb-wise, we have more than thousands.
How do the people use these things?
Well, they would go home. We have instructions on how to brew up the herbs, and then it's their job to brew it up.
Her patients brew the herbs into a tea. Before Julie can create the right combination of herbs, she makes a diagnosis, and the process is a little unusual.
So the eyes represent the liver, the ears represent the kidney, the nose represents the lungs, and the lips represent the spleen.
And what's the most important thing of all?
I believe that the tongue coating is very important. People lie, but tongues don't lie.
Then it was time for me to open up, literally. I'm pretty healthy, but as a working mom with 2 busy teens, catching enough Z's is always challenging.
Let's take a look at your tongue.
All right. Here it comes.
Oh, okay. Good.
That wasn't too scary, but can you tell anything initially by looking at my tongue?
Yeah, a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Yeah, yeast.
Yeast?
Yes.
That's not good.
Overload.
Oh no!
Especially when ones don't sleep well, then naturally when you don't sleep well, you stay up a lot, you eat more. So it's important to go to sleep early so you don't actually feel the hunger.
And you
feel
can see
the
that
need.
just by looking for 1 second at my...
Well, not only that, because under the eyes are very swollen.
For Julie, using traditional Chinese medicine to help people in modern times makes sense.
And when they feel well, it feels so great.
Malia Karlinski, Seattle Refined.
To learn more or to see that story again, log on to the website. Seattle Refined is just getting started.
All right, let's get this party started.
We sink our teeth into the latest foodie party trend, plus a one-of-a-kind tribute to the greatest generation. We'll be right back.
Changing gears, our sponsor, the Flying Heritage and Combat Armory Museum, is one of the coolest places in the Northwest for World War II buffs. The museum has a big event coming up this weekend. We're going to let you know about that in just a second. But first up, here's John Prentice with a look at what makes this place so special to so many.
High in the sky and ready to roll, the Flying Heritage and Combat Armor Museum in Everett is the place to experience the most iconic machines from World War II in action.
The museum was established by Paul Allen, who you might know is the co-founder of Microsoft, and his father was in World War II, and as you might imagine, he's a technology guy. And so it started as a way to illustrate this huge leap in technology in the 1930s and 40s.
It's true, innovations like radar, rockets, and computer science all owe their origins to the Second World War, a time when the fate of the free world rested on the shoulders of brave young men and their incredible machines. So what's this aluminum beauty behind us?
That's a North American P-51 Mustang. It was built in California. That particular one served in combat in Europe during World War II.
Also here, its main rival, the sinister Messerschmitt Bf-109 and Focke-Wulf 190 D-13, believed to be the only one left on Earth. Out on the tarmac, stunning running examples of World War II American air superiority. The B-25 Mitchell bomber, a P-40, complete with shark-tooth grin, Corsair with folding wings for easy storage, and U.S. Navy Hellcat. World War II veteran Robert Turnell actually flew one of these flying tanks.
Out in the Pacific, World War II.
What do you think people can learn from seeing these airplanes and talking to guys like you?
I don't know. It's hard to answer that one because I was there during the war and all that. I guess there's a lot of people that just want to know what is going on at that time.
What was going on was scary, reinforced by the presence of this plane, a fully functional Japanese Zero. Its angry roar made my skin crawl. And imagining Robert hear that horrifying sound flying towards him in combat gave me even more respect for the man. A real hero.
What do you think about all these people coming to see you today?
Wonderful.
We do a number of flying and driving events in the summer, but our biggest is coming up next. July 21st is Sky Fair.
And one of the museum's newest acquisitions will be taking to the sky for all to see.
So this is a de Havilland Mosquito. It's an English fighter bomber used during World War II. It's almost completely made of wood.
Wood?
They were worried that they wouldn't have enough raw materials to make metal airplanes, so they made this one out of wood. And as a result, it's super fast.
The Flying Heritage and Combat Armor Museum offers visitors many ways to learn about conflict and technology, preserving these war machines so future generations will never forget the tumultuous times of World War II.
They're important parts of history and they're disappearing, and this is one of the only places you can see some of these icons.
John Prentice, Seattle, Refined.
This Saturday is the Flying Heritage and Combat Armor Museum Sky Fair. They say it's the biggest air and ground show event of the year. For ticket info or to learn more, log on to the website. Coming up on Refined, we say bon appetit to the newest foodie party trend. And a Western Washington woman finds a sweet way to say thanks.
Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. As you know, we have a big foodie following here on Refined, so we feel a responsibility to keep on top of the dining trends. And one of the fastest growing trends for foodies are pop-up dinners. It's where diners try unique and exciting dining experiences from hot chefs, usually at their own home. Aaron Mayovsky was invited to a pop-up dinner in Seattle and got a taste of why this trend is so hot.
Twist it a little bit.
Diego Felix is the guest chef tonight. Visiting from Argentina, he's whipping up something special from his family's roots. This pop-up dinner truly showcasing the art of his cuisine.
I'm really a privileged person to have this because what I do is I entertain people. That's what I like to do.
7 hungry couples are here tonight, eager to feast on a new experience.
We have heard them, and when you get invited, like it's a thing. Like it's hard to find them, and when you do, you jump on them because they are super cool. It's always a very special experience.
As the guests sipped on their citrus welcome drink with herbs and fennel, along with empanada appetizers, Diego was busy in the garden hand-picking tonight's salad.
Really lucky to have these fresh ingredients because you can't get this in a restaurant. These are cilantro flowers. So we're going to use it in a salad to pair with a white wine. So it's going to be very fresh, bright, and crisp.
You get together friends, people you know, people you don't know, and have this amazing experience around food, which is not all that uncommon, but that's really what food should be about. But then also having this perspective from a South American chef.
Wow, that tastes like, it kind of goes in smooth and then it's a pop.
So it's very subtle.
It's a great experience for people to come out in Seattle in our own neighborhood, meet new people, have great food, great wine, and really just see our own city from a different way.
We're ready to go. We're ready to start the party. We're going to come up and take a sip.
Once dinner was announced, the guests marched towards the surprise menu, a lineup of delicious eats.
Do you want a bite? All right, let's get this party started.
So enjoy, guys. Have fun.
The salad was new to everyone, and of course, Diego had the cilantro from the garden mixed in.
That's so good. That's delicious.
Diego was just getting warmed up. The main course featuring an Argentina favorite, asado de tira, another name for short ribs, smothered in beet sauce and green chimichurri.
Look at this, it's utterly amazing. It just falls apart.
With the food and wine flowing, this pop-up dinner was dynamite, and we weren't finished. Dessert featured dulce de leche with chocolate, dried strawberries, and whipped cream.
So good! I love it! It's great fun. Yeah, especially when you get to go to somebody else's house.
On this night, everyone was stuffed with good food, better friends, and more culture.
Diego, this is what it's all about.
Yeah. This is all about family, food, and friends. Cheers.
Cheers and thank you. For Seattle Refined, Aaron Mayovsky.
Look for a pop-up dinner near you because tons are in Seattle and many for charity. The website Eventbrite says people are so obsessed with pop-ups, these events are up 82% from last year. We'll be right back. But first, check out our refined, shareable moment of the day. Welcome back to Refined. Everyone has so much going on these days that a lot of times we don't stop to appreciate all the people we encounter every day who help make our lives better. From the cop on the beat to the checker at the grocery store, there's not always time to say thank you. But one Western Washington woman has a sweet way of letting some special people in her life know that she really cares, and she does it with bread.
Everybody at Citron knows who the bread lady is. Everybody.
If you drive a city bus in Vancouver, you know who she is.
She's kind of a legend around the halls of Citron, actually.
The creator of Bread So Tasty, they've won numerous first-place ribbons at the Clark County Fair.
It's really good. Yeah, each makes a lot of different kinds, so there's a little something for everybody.
This is my baby.
Carolyn, or the bread lady if you prefer, is hard at work this week, getting ready for a major delivery to the Citron offices, and the bread lady does it for love.
They're getting a little piece. They're getting something that shows them that somebody cares, that somebody appreciates them.
For the past 38 years, the bread lady has been bringing joy by the loaf to Citron's drivers, showing her appreciation for being her wheels when she stopped driving. So Carolyn says thanks by baking.
I always shake them so they're evenly. I don't want one bigger than the other because they sit there and fight over it.
Dozens of loaves of her banana nut bread, her zucchini bread with crushed pineapple, and her pumpkin bread with craisins.
I cannot believe how fast. I'll go back like within a half hour and check it. And then they says, oh, they're gone. I'm going, what? And I have to ask certain drivers, well, did you get any bread? No. I said, hey, you guys all know where I live. What's your excuse?
Carolyn spends a lot of her own money to bake these gifts. She just wrapped up a trip to Bob's Red Mill, where she brought home hundreds of pounds of flour and sugar.
I usually buy like my salt, baking soda, baking powder in cases. Well, now I'm getting the big 25-pound bags because when I start, look out. I want to have this stuff on hand.
The bread lady learned to bake from her mom, in school and in the Army.
It's very neat to do this, but the fair and then what I do for the bus drivers, I'm busy. I am really busy.
And her appreciation for Citron's drivers is reciprocated right back.
And she chooses a really delicious way to show us that she, appreciates us, and we love that.
All right, that's going to do for today's show. I'm Gart Swanson. Thanks for joining us here on Seattle Refined. We will see you next time right here.